And tonight, new important guidance from the WHO. They're now saying it is rare for asymptomatic patients carrying COVID-19 to spread the deadly disease.
All right, Sanjay, I'm excited to speak with you every morning, but this morning I think we need your wisdom more than most because of this statement made by the scientist at the WHO, who now says that asymptomatic spread of coronavirus is very rare. That's just different than what we've been told the last few months. So what's going on here?
Yeah, it's different. It's confusing, and I think the World Health Organization, frankly, they're going to have to clarify these statements because I think it's just left a lot of people confused. Couple points. First of all, asymptomatic, meaning you don't have symptoms, you never develop symptoms. That's an unusual situation because we know that people may not have classic symptoms. They may have COVID toes. They may have loss of smell. Those are still symptoms, or they may have mild symptoms, mild cold-like symptoms. So a true asymptomatic person who has the virus is a rare situation. But I think more importantly, John, what we've learned, and I think this remains true, is that people who have not yet developed the symptoms, pre-symptomatic, so they don't think they have any symptoms, they feel fine, but they're about to develop symptoms. We know, and the data has been pretty clear on this, that they not only can be contagious, they can be more contagious at that time before they actually develop symptoms. So, I think, the basic guidance remains the same as a result, John. We all have to behave like we have the virus because you may not have any symptoms, not only be contagious, but actually be your most contagious during that pre-symptomatic period. We do need to get clarification to your question, John, on asymptomatic. That does fly in the face of what we've heard from the CDC and other public health organizations. So what exactly did they mean? We're going to dig on that.
Elizabeth, on another really important front, the World Health Organization this morning saying that it's very rare for someone who is asymptomatic with no symptoms to spread COVID-19, but that is the opposite of what the CDC has been saying for months. So who do we believe?
All the experts I'm talking to are saying do not believe the WHO on this. That this is, according to one doctor I talked to, unfortunate, very unfortunate. He said the WHO is being prissy, that's the word that he used, and that it's really unfortunate that they are giving this false impression. The bottom line is that the CDC says that 40% of transmission may be happening by people before they're showing symptoms. So in other words, you could run into your old friend Bob. Bob looks totally fine. You give him a hug. Well, he could have COVID and you wouldn't know it because he doesn't look sick. Is it because he hasn't yet shown symptoms? Is it because he's infected but will never have symptoms? Is it because he has mild symptoms? Who knows? The point is asymptomatic infection is real.
I asked Dr. Fauci about this very issue yesterday, and he said it is clear, the data is clear, asymptomatic transmission has been confirmed. They've traced cases. He does say it's not the driver of the outbreak, but that's very different from saying asymptomatic cases cannot lead to other infections. It's an important distinction.
That's right.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
The World Health Organization confused so many all over the world. So can you spread the virus if you're asymptomatic?
The World Health Organization is now walking back that surprising claim, saying that asymptomatic people can and do spread the virus, but they admit they don't know exactly how that happens. David.
Very important. Again,
asymptomatic people can and do spread the virus, but they admit they don't know exactly how that happens.
And senior medical correspondent Elizabeth Cohen is here. What to believe, what to think? My goodness, I mean, you see the divide based on the polling. It seems to be in disagreement between, the World Health Organization and Dr. Anthony Fauci as well, just about the nature of asymptomatic transmission. What are you hearing?
You know what, Brooke, let's try to bottom line this. So over the past couple of days, there's been a disagreement because the World Health Organization said one thing about asymptomatic transmission that confused everybody. Then they changed it on Tuesday, confusing everybody even more, including infectious disease doctors who said the WHO left them scratching their heads. And then Tony Fauci and others came out and said, look, asymptomatic transmission is real. People can feel fine, yet still be infected and infect others. And that brings us to the recent protests, because there are people who are feeling well enough to protest, but who in fact might have COVID-19 and not even know it. So let's take a listen to something Dr. Fauci said recently.
So I wouldn't be surprised that members of the congregation that were there demonstrating could also be infected. And many of them would then go back to where they were, because not everyone was demonstrating in the city where they live. They've come from the outside. So it's the kind of things that we were concerned about. And unfortunately, we're seeing it come true right now.
So the bottom line for all of this, whether it's a protest or just people getting together, if we are not careful, if we don't socially distance, we can spread COVID-19 even if we feel fine. Brooke?
I know, it feels like so many people have just sort of forgotten that it's a thing, but it is very much a thing, and we have to be so careful still. Elizabeth Cohen, thank you.